Just think about what Illyrio tells Viserys when they are presenting Dany to Drogo for inspection. Look at her. That silver gold hair, those purple eyes. She is the blood of old Valyria, no doubt, no doubt. In a broader sense, George's whole story is the history of the making of the genetic dragon seeds from both sides of the sheets and the children of these seeds. This is actually important and key to looking at the plots surrounding the Dance of the Dragons and Aegon IV through Dunk and Egg and until Daenerys' story, including the Winds of Winter. Where the big players in this seemingly totally patriarchal society are ever seeking for the right females, basically as broodmares, to pass the special genetics to their sons. In comes Nettles, from Game of Thrones, Tyrion V. Most of the principal houses of the Vale were represented. Tyrion noted Sir Lyn Corbray, slender as a sword, Lord Hunter with his gouty legs, the widowed Lady Waynwood surrounded by her sons. Others sported sigils he did not know: Broken Lance, Green Viper, Burning Tower, Winged Chalice. Welcome back to our series on Nettles, the fierce dragonseed whose story burns through fire and blood and echoes through Dunk and Egg and Game of Thrones. Here in video 2, we unravel her enigmatic legacy in the Vale after the Dance of the Dragons. Was she the mother of a sacred bloodline, tied to the mysterious Winged Chalice Tyrion spies during his trial at the Eyrie? From Fire Witch to Holy Grail, Nettles' tale blends Valyrian lineage with Western religious mythology. And is her holy blood guarded by a newly fashioned house set up at Newkeep, House Hersy? It is a truly coconut idea, and importantly, note that it is an interpretation of a Song of Ice and Fire giant, Knight of the Broken Hearts theory. He can be found on Twitter and Reddit. In video 1, we met Nettles, the scrappy, brown-skinned dragonseed who tamed the wild Sheepstealer during the Dance of the Dragons in 129 AC. Lacking the silver hair or purple eyes of Valyrian blood, she sparked fierce debate. Was she a true Targaryen descendant or a cunning survivor who bonded with a dragon through grit alone? Her murky ties to Daemon Targaryen, possibly his daughter from a 112 AC tryst in the Stepstones or his lover in 130 AC at Maidenpool, wove scandal with mystery. Fire and Blood leaves her origins unsolved, while House of the Dragon's omission of Nettles ignited fan fury and George R.R. Martin's own criticism. D&D are forgiven for having no source material, but Condell is scorned for spurning the canon. At its heart, Nettles' story challenges the myth of Valyrian destiny, but it also hints at a bloodline that endures, setting the stage for her saga in the Vale. It's 130 AC, and the Dance of the Dragons is tearing Westeros apart. Nettles, accused of treason by Queen Rhaenyra, faces a death sentence. But Daemon Targaryen, her protector, either lover or father, refuses to strike her down. Instead, Nettles flees Maidenpool on Sheepstealer, her dragon's wings carrying her to the rugged mountains of the Vale. The Vale's insular clans and treacherous terrain offer refuge for a dragonrider on the run. Here, Nettles, possibly pregnant by Daemon, or perhaps Jacaerys Velaryon, begins her transformation from outcast to legend. In the Vale, Nettles becomes more than a fugitive. She becomes a myth. The world of Ice and Fire tells us, amongst the burned men, a youth must give some part of his body to the fire to prove his courage before he can be deemed a man. This practice might have originated in the years after the Dance of the Dragons, some maesters believe, when an offshoot clan of the Painted Dogs were said to have worshipped a fire witch in the mountains, sending their boys to bring her gifts and risk the flames of the dragon she commanded to prove their manhood. Nettles, with her dragon Sheepstealer, is, almost for sure, the worshipped fire witch. Her dragon's flames inspire the burned men's brutal rites, reshaping their culture. Boys offer gifts, food, furs, even their own flesh, to prove their worth, cementing Nettles as a godlike figure. Her influence doesn't just endure, it transforms the Vale's future, tying her to a legacy that burns brighter than dragonflame. In the Vale's shadows, Nettles gives birth to a child, a pale-skinned infant with Valyrian traits, likely Daemon's, born with silver hair, or possibly Jacaerys, with subtler dragon blood. This child, starkly different from Nettles' dark features, sparks whispers among the clans. To them, it's no ordinary birth. It's an immaculate conception, a divine miracle born of their fire witch. This child is more than flesh and blood. It's the seed of a sacred bloodline, a holy Grail carrying the dragon's legacy. But what does this mean for Westeros, and who guards this secret? Martin's names are never random. Take Daemon, from the Greek for God or spirit. It fits the rogue prince's divine yet chaotic nature, a man who defies kings and fathers' myths and is quintessentially Valyrian. Our favorite is Lysa Tully, tied to the Greek lysis, meaning loosening or frenzy, hinting at moonlit madness and an obvious stab at the woman who first broke his heart, Lisa Tuttle. Let's hear from George.
Well, where do you find all the inspiration for the names?
Names are very hard.
I bet!
That's an interesting question. Yeah, names are really, really hard. And I need to know the name of a character before I can write about them.
The winged chalice, glimpsed by Tyrion at the Eyrie, is the key to Nettles' legacy. It's the blood of the dragons, the holy grail that always drives each of Martin's narratives. And it's the sigil of a new house, called House Hersy, seated at Newkeep in the Vale. But why Hersy? There are a few ideas. This house guards a heretical Targaryen bloodline, a claimant line that defies the outcome of the Dance of the Dragons. Hersy may also mean her house, or hers, so to speak, with a capital H, the Fire Witches. Or it could be that the house with its Knights Templar parallels, which is discussed in a moment, is also thought to be heretical, like the Templar. And if you think about it, the Daemon Nettles connection itself might be an ultimate heresy. Okay, the Holy Grail, a medieval Christian symbol, is no mere cup. In Arthurian legend, it is the vessel of Christ's blood, tied to a sacred bloodline. It's the ultimate prize, a divine mystery that drives knights to madness and quests to ruin. For Nettles, her child, born of Daemon Targaryen or maybe Jace, is this Grail, a dragon-blooded heir carrying Valyrian fire in its veins. This isn't just a baby, it is a living relic, a secret that could shake Westeros. And the wings on the chalice sigil? They scream Valyria, fusing the dragon's ancient power with Western religious mythology. Some tales, like those in the Da Vinci Code, published in 2003, years after a Game of Thrones dropped in 1996, link the Grail to Mary Magdalene, a virgin figure who carries a divine heir in secret. The 2006 film hammered this home, with Magdalene as the sacred feminine, a mother to a holy lineage. Nettles mirrors this perfectly. Her dark features hide a child of pale, silver-haired Valyrian glory, a heretical heir to the dragon's legacy. Enter the Knights Templar, medieval guardians of the Grail in legend. These warrior monks weren't just soldiers, they were bankers, builders, and keepers of sacred relics, from the Holy Grail to Christ's supposed heirs. Their secrecy sparked wild tales, heresy, hidden treasures, even devil worship. In Westeros, House Hersy and the Vale's clans play this role, acting as guardians of the maiden's child. Newkeep, their seat, is no mere castle. It's a fortress of secrets, its winged chalice sigil a bold clue George gives us. The Templar parallel runs deep, just as the knights faced betrayal in 1307 when King Philip IV crushed them for their wealth and power. House Hersy would risk annihilation for hiding a rival Targaryen bloodline, and it's logical they would not wish to upset the new and fragile peace. Their heresy isn't just the child's existence, it's the idea that Nettles, a supposed commoner and brown-skinned dragonseed with no silver traits, could birth an actual true dragon heir. The Vale's clans, like the Burned Men, add another layer, their fire witch worship echoing the Templars' mystic aura. Boys burn for Nettles' dragon, just as knights knelt for relics. This guardianship isn't passive. Hersy and the clans are active defenders, likely even training warriors to protect the bloodline, much like the Templars' fortified preceptories across Europe. Every whisper of the winged chalice carries their defiance, a secret kept alive in the Vale's shadows. And the idea of these warriors brings us to the next big leap, because Nettles' story doesn't end in the Vale. In Video 3, we'll trace her legacy to Ser Arlen of Pennytree, the humble knight from the Duncan Egg Tales. Could his sword, his sigil, and his lineage be directly tied to the winged chalice and the Fire Witch herself? Join us as we follow the threads of heresy into the future of Westeros. Let's keep chasing the blood of the dragon. From the shoulders of giants for Septa Shaena Productions, thumbs up for the Da Vinci Code.